In 2014, True Detective set a new standard for prestige television, captivating millions with its haunting Louisiana mystery and earning near-universal praise. Just 1 year later, its second season became a byword for disappointment, collapsing under the weight of convoluted plots, 4 miscast leads, and rushed, muddled production. Critics turned savage, audiences fled, and what was supposed to be HBO's next masterpiece became a cautionary tale. Why did True Detective Season 2 fail so badly? And how did a show crowned as a masterpiece fall into chaos almost overnight? The truth lies in a perfect storm of creative ambition, impossible deadlines, and a gamble that backfired for everyone involved. True Detective's first season arrived like a thunderclap. In January 2014, critics and audiences alike found themselves drawn into the swamps and sugarcane fields of rural Louisiana, where 2 detectives, Matthew McConaughey's Rust Cole and Woody Harrelson's Marty Hart, chased a killer through decades of secrets and southern decay. McConaughey's performance became legendary, almost overnight. His haunted stare, the slow drawl, and those cryptic, unforgettable lines, "Time is a flat circle," turned Rust Cole into a pop culture phenomenon. Harrelson matched him, grounding the story with a steady, all-too-human foil. Cary Fukunaga directed every episode, imprinting the season with a singular vision. The camera lingered on rusted churches and moss-draped trees, making the setting feel alive, ominous, beautiful, and inescapable. In Episode 4, a 6-minute tracking shot through a chaotic drug raid stunned viewers and set a new bar for what television could do. The show's restraint was just as striking. Each philosophical tangent, each flash of violence, served the story instead of overwhelming it. The mystery at the center, the Yellow King, Carcosa, ritual scars, and cryptic symbols, kept viewers theorizing for months. The season's finale drew over 3.5 million live viewers, an extraordinary number for HBO at the time. Critics responded with near-universal praise, an 87% score on Rotten Tomatoes, awards from the Emmys and beyond, and a place in the canon of prestige television. Season 1 didn't just succeed, it set an impossible standard for anything that would follow. In March 2014, HBO gave True Detective a swift green light for a second season, but the celebration came with a deadline. The network wanted new episodes on air by the following summer, shrinking the creative window to just 12 months. That pace is punishing for any show, let alone an anthology expected to reinvent itself from scratch. Nic Pizzolatto, emboldened by his newfound status, insisted on writing every script alone. He turned down a writer's room, ignored offers of co-writers, and chose to shoulder the entire story himself. HBO executives, eager to bottle lightning twice, granted him near total control. But the cracks started before a single frame was shot. Cary Fukunaga, whose direction unified the first season, declined to return. Officially, he cited exhaustion and scheduling, but reports of creative tension swirled. Without Fukunaga's steady hand, the production lost its visual anchor. Pizzolatto, now the undisputed architect, faced a blank page and a ticking clock. Script drafts arrived late. Casting announcements trickled out as production loomed, with Colin Farrell and Vince Vaughn confirmed only months before shooting. There was no time for table reads, no space to workshop dialogue or refine character arcs. HBO's mandate was clear: deliver a sequel while the world was still watching. Collaboration gave way to isolation, and the pressure to match past glory hung over every decision. By the time cameras rolled in November 2014, the season's foundation was already unstable. Colin Farrell, Vince Vaughn, Rachel McAdams, and Taylor Kitsch, 4 marquee names, 4 separate stories, all jostling for the spotlight. That was the promise of True Detective's second season, an ensemble cast where every character mattered. But this ambition came at a cost. Instead of the sharp, two-person dynamic that drove the first season, viewers found themselves pulled in too many directions at once. There was no single partnership to anchor the chaos, no Rust and Marty, just a rotating cast of damaged loners. Farrell played Ravel Coro, a crooked detective with a battered conscience. McAdams took on Annie Bezarides, a detective defined by trauma and mistrust. Kitch was Paul Woodrue, a highway patrolman haunted by secrets. Vaughn, best known for comedy, stepped into the role of Frank Semyon, a gangster desperate for legitimacy. The casting of Vaughn in particular raised eyebrows. Critics questioned whether he could carry the weight of a dramatic heavy. Instead of deepening the drama, the expanded roster made it harder to care about any one thread. The series lost its emotional center. With 4 leads competing for attention, the story's focus fractured, and the audience's connection faded. The gamble on a sprawling ensemble left viewers adrift, searching for the kind of chemistry that had once made True Detective unmissable. The plot of True Detective's second season tangled itself into knots. What began as the murder of a city manager quickly spiraled into a maze of land deals, stolen diamonds, and political corruption. Each episode introduced new suspects, new side plots, and new faces, then dropped them for hours at a time. The central mystery vanished beneath layers of bureaucracy and backroom deals. Even the most dedicated viewers struggled to keep track of who was blackmailing whom, or why any of it mattered. The show's core question, who killed Ben Caspier, was buried under so many subplots that by the finale, the answer felt almost irrelevant. Dialogue, once a strength, became a source of ridicule. Every character seemed to speak in riddles, as if competing to sound the most profound. Vince Vaughn's Frank Semyon delivered lines like, "I welcome judgment," with a straight face, but the words landed flat. Instead of revealing character, the dialogue turned into a contest of who could sound the most tortured or philosophical. The effect was numbing. Authentic voices were lost, replaced by a monotone of forced gravitas. Atmosphere suffered too. Gone were the haunted landscapes of Louisiana. In their place, endless shots of industrial freeways, neon-lit strip clubs, and concrete wastelands. Justin Lin's direction brought technical polish, but the setting felt cold and repetitive. One infamous set piece, a masked orgy at a mansion, aimed for shock, but left critics and fans baffled. The bleakness piled up, scene after scene, but never earned its weight. Instead of tension, the season produced exhaustion. The world of True Detective had become unrecognizable, a puzzle box with no reward. Rotten Tomatoes delivered the first gut punch. Season 2 landed at just 46% with critics, a freefall from the heights of its predecessor. Audience scores tumbled even lower, settling in the 30s. Nielsen tracked the exodus in real time. 3.17 million viewers tuned in for the premiere, but by the finale, only 2.73 million remained. The internet did not let it slide. Jokes about robots, dick e-cigarettes, and endless freeway shots spread across Twitter. SNL parodied the show's ponderous dialogue. Better Than True Detective Season 2 became a running punchline for mediocrity. Critics pointed to the credits. Justin Lin directed the opening episodes. Then the baton passed from hand to hand, leaving the season without a steady voice. Think pieces, memes, and late-night monologues dissected the collapse. The numbers told one story, the culture told another. Both agreed. Something had gone very wrong. Fargo's anthology approach offers a clear contrast. Creator Noah Hawley took extra time between seasons and worked closely with a writer's room, resulting in tightly woven stories and fresh, distinctive worlds each year. The Wire's second season, initially divisive for its shift to the docks, is now praised for its careful plotting and character depth. Its risks were supported by strong writing, not just ambition. Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul thrived on collaboration, with Vince Gilligan leading a team of writers who debated every twist and detail. Game of Thrones, in its final years, faltered under the weight of a rushed schedule. The show's careful build gave way to hasty resolutions and a loss of coherence. True Detective's second season repeated the same mistakes: a lone writer, a compressed timeline, and no time for scripts to breathe. Years later, Pizzolatto admitted he needed more time. Season 4, now led by Issa Lopez, is built on that lesson. Collaboration, patience, and humility matter more than any single vision. True Detective Season 2 saw its Rotten Tomatoes critics score drop to 46%, a sharp fall from Season 1's 87%. The rushed 12-month turnaround, loss of director Cary Fukunaga, and Nic Pizzolatto's refusal to collaborate led to 4 underdeveloped leads, a convoluted plot, and dialogue criticized across reviews and in the press. Despite a star-studded cast and HBO's resources, viewership fell from 3.87 million at the premiere to 3.49 million by the finale. Pizzolatto later admitted he needed more time, but exactly how much creative interference or network pressure shaped the outcome remains unclear. When HBO returned to a slower, more collaborative process for Season 3, critical scores rebounded. Today, Season 2 stands as a documented warning. Rushing production and isolating creative control can undermine even the strongest franchises. The evidence shows that in television, lasting success depends on time, teamwork, and a clear vision.